Hi.
Hi, fam. Can I call you one
Hello.
day or you want fam?
Yes, please. Please. I beg you. Monday is fine. Thank you.
Nice to meet you today, and thank you for agreeing to be our guest for this month's career
Thank,
showcase.
thank you for having me. I am so honored and really, really happy to be on this platform.
So you have an impressive background, and we both are
You?
pharmacists. We started from the same place, and starting off with that, I just want to find out what it's like moving from pharmacy. Like, we know that in our context, African context, there are traditional pharmaceutical roles. And when you introduce yourself as a pharmacist, people look at you like, seriously? And you're doing all these amazing things. So you've moved from this pharmaceutical role to leading large scale health tech projects. Like, you've worked on my medicine, my pharmacy, you're a medbay pharmaceutical now. So, what inspired your transition into digital health and operations consulting?
Well, I must say that nothing really inspired it. I dabbled into it by chance. So, to be honest, my first love in the pharmacy profession was community pharmacy, and it's still community pharmacy. I love and wellness pharmacy. I honestly loved the fact that I was helping patients get better. But there is, I think the unique thing about me is that I like to find the purpose of what I do. So if you find me making clothes today, I would make a big deal out of it. So I like to make a big deal out of anything that I do. And to do it very well, excellently well, such that it is phenomenal. So I was in a community pharmacy and I was thriving. I wanted to, venture into wellness and natural medicine, the pharmacognosy part of medicine, of pharmacy. And, Abimbola was and is still my mentor, right? And Abimbola Adebakin, by the way, the CEO of Advantage of Africa, the founder and CEO of Advantage of Africa. So I met her and, I got to know what she was doing with my pharmacy then. Then they were starting my pharmacy. I referred another friend of mine whose mom had a retail pharmacy to join the network. I spoke to my then boss, who was the owner of a retail pharmacy, to also be part of the network. So she got to know that I was referring people. So she got to me and said we should talk. And we spoke and she says, oh, what do you want to do next? It's towards the end of the year. About this time, of the year, that year in 2018 or 2019. And I told her, oh, I'm going to start job hunting. I will leave where I am to, job hunt in a bigger retail pharma space. And I said, don't job hunt, come and work for me. Come and work with me. I really like you. You are very solid, da 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 da. And I told her then, I said, I don't want anything to take me from, you know, my patients, from patients and patient care. I said, oh, what do you mean? You'll be working with more pharmacies to help them with patients. And I always say that was how she deceived me into health management and consulting. And I joined 2 months after, and the rest they say is history. But one day I found myself in Advantage of Africa being a pharmacy management team lead for 10 branches of pharmacy, and they were calling me for, oh, we need inventory here, we need supply, procurement. They started calling me, oh, our generator is not working. And that was when I knew that I had been changed. Now I am no longer in my clinical pharmacy and I had to step up into my management role, even if it was a junior management role. And I did it well. I grew. And from there, the rest they say is history. I'm here today, 6 years down the line.
Wow, that's an amazing story. We all have our origin stories, how we navigated this. By happen chance, serendipity,
Yeah.
however it is, we found our way to this
Yes.
very evolving sector of digital
Yeah.
health. Coming to
Beautiful.
your current role, I just want to know, if I'm not just your current role, your previous role, like something you said, you make a big noise, a big deal out of every role you have been in, and I followed your career trajectory. And for the past 1 year, you've been working with Medbury Pharmaceuticals, and I see you're also doing amazingly there. So, what are your what have been or what are your key strategies for success?
Whew.
Just tell us
Well,
also a bit about your present role and then what has been your key strategies for success.
all right. So currently I am the head of business and CEO for Medbury Pharmaceuticals. Medbury Pharmaceuticals is a subsidiary of Medbury Healthcare Group. And Medbury Healthcare Group is a company, an organization focused on fixing healthcare in Nigeria and Africa. So we look for gaps and we fill the gaps, right? But Medbury Pharmaceutical, which is the pharmaceutical business, an arm of subsidiary of the business, is focused largely on fixing the pharma supply chain sector, right? Through supply chain optimization and financing and backward integration and basically manufacturing and distribution. So we have two subsidiaries in Medbury Pharmaceuticals that I lead, which is MedStock. MedStock Solution is the supply chain optimization and financing company, which is a subsidiary. And we have the MedSage. MedSage is the manufacturing and distribution arm of Medbury Pharmaceuticals. And basically, what we do is to work with organizations, healthcare institutions, state governments, federal governments, federal institutions, tertiary institutions, to help aggregate their demand, plan their demand, manage their inventory, and we fund it. We provide the medicines at no cost, at zero cost to the hospitals. The hospitals, the states, government, the institutions, they have medicines on their shelves that their patients need, and they are able to serve their patients, the medication needs of their patients, without worrying about the cost and the operational processes of managing the supply chain of it end to end. So we do that for them. We work with them. We work with institutions like University College Hospital. That's a federal institution. We work with River State government. We worked with Edo State governments this time last year. You know, we work with AKSM. We work with some private institutions, Atlantis Hospital, Arjolad Hospitals, and some other private institutions in Nigeria. And our goal is to scale the solution across board while we backward integrate for manufacturing.
Beautiful. And tell me, what are some strategies that you've
Yeah.
used to just do amazing things with all the projects you've been involved in?
Well, I think that number one, my number one mantra, it's the first strategy, which should be who you are, right? It's my person. Who I am is I want to succeed with anything I do, right? My mantra is I do not do this work first to earn, in as much as is a very integral part of what I do. I must earn. And I don't believe just in earning, because once you create value, you will earn and earn well, right? I believe so much in creating value with everything that I do. So if you give me pure water to sell, I'm going to sell it in a way that is amazing. World standard, great standard. I will always look at how best I can sell pure water, right? I will look for a purpose in selling pure water, why I should sell pure water, what should I be doing selling pure water, who should I sell pure water to? Every end-to-end reason and value chain of pure water selling, I will do that. That's to say that that is just who I am. So my number one strategy is I am a value creator. I am a value multiplier. Whatever is given to me to manage, I don't see it as a job. I don't see it as an activity. I see it as an opportunity to create value for myself by growing, learning a lot on the job, and by creating value for the company that I work for, or the person, the lead that leads me, that I work with, and for the end user, for the public, who's who are the people that use or interface with the solution that I am actually heading or managing. So I am a value multiplier. That is who I am. I've been able to embody this truth and this this culture, this personality in the last 8 years of my career. I told myself I do not just want to. So when I was a retail community pharmacist, I was a value multiplier. When I moved into management and consulting, I was a value multiplier. When I started leading L Tech and I transitioned into L Tech and all, I was a value multiplier. Moving from L Tech to supply chain, operations, and technology, I'm still a value multiplier. So when people interface with me at every point in time, they are unable to marry my basic degree to what I do now. When I tell people I'm a pharmacist, they don't believe it because when I sit with you, I speak finance, right? I speak a lot in financial terms that people don't believe that I studied pharmacy, right? So that's number one. Number two is I refuse not to grow. It's different for you to say I am growing. You can think you are growing, but you are not. But I refuse not to grow. Extremely important that anytime I find anywhere I find myself, I do self-evaluation. What is required for me to succeed? Not succeed in my KPIs. I've never had a job description in the last 7 years of my career. The last job description I had was the one given to me in 2018 or so. I have never had KPIs. I've never worked with KPIs. I work with visions. I work with goals. So I go on to meet the set person in my any organization that I work with to say, what is success to you? And they share their success with me. And I'm able to translate that success towards operational and actionable steps. So every day on the job must translate to the big picture, right? So my goal is, my second strategy is success. I want to be able to succeed with everything that I do to ensure that yes, I am. So I'm not doing it because I want to earn alone. I'm not doing it because I want to just stay on the. I want to do. I want to shine with the job, with whatever that is placed in my hand. Number three is my ownership. Nothing really beats. I'm sorry that I'm boasting. I don't give an employee energy on the job. I have an massive sense of ownership. And what I mean by that is that I own whatever is given to me. When you see me speak about my work or at work, you hear me say my money, my team, my unit, my business unit, my subsidiary. I take ownership. So the success, the failure, when a strategy that is given to me by the company is not working, and I see that this is not working, I go back to the drawing table. I go back to meet them to say this is not working, and this is what I want to do. So I don't come with problems because of my sense of ownership. I take it upon myself to ensure that I find solutions when others see problems, right? And number four would be ah, what am I? I think I am an executor. I'm very blessed to be an executor. So I'm able to translate the vision, the strategy into executable tasks, goals, tasks that would get me from where I am to where I should be on the job. So I would say wrap up quickly. Aside, what else? These are the things that I have been consistent with in the last, 1 decade of my career.
Thank you so much. You see me writing down. I'm also doing introspection because I need to work on some areas that you've touched on. So thank you so much for sharing these very personal part of you. These personal strategies that have helped you be so successful in the last decade. Coming back to the amazing work you've done or you did with AHA, especially the My Pharmacy. You grew it into one of Africa's largest aggregator for retail pharmacies. So, what are the challenges? Because I know there are,
Oh, yes.
that you faced in building such a network, and how did you overcome them?
Okay. I think the number one and the core challenge is culture. They say culture eats strategy for breakfast any day. And the problem we have is, to be honest, the best strategies in this world would fail if the culture do not align with the strategies. And the best way to win when the culture and the strategy are not is that you don't meet. My current boss will say something. You don't take people from where they are to where you want them to be. You don't operate from there. You operate from where they are and you go with them to where they want to be. So that is a very good way to intercept the gap, or to bridge the gap between culture and strategy. It was a very challenging thing. In fact, there were ventures we ventured in then that failed because of poor culture, right, of the pharmacy. So a normal pharmacy owner believes, I'm the owner of this business. They don't know much about inventory management. Their operation is shitty. Their decision making is baseless, no data proven. A lot of things were wrong, and they were used as to doing things and stuck with the old ways of running a retail pharmacy. And you want to bring tech, you want to bring, all of these things, and they're like, leave my business alone. So there were a lot of mindset, gaps that we had to fill. And one of the ways I was able to overcome was to now set up a platform where we started training. We called it I forgot, Growth Hub, my pharmacy Growth Hub. So that way, we were training, dishing out information, and we had to do it for free. You know, I'm still a coach on that platform, right? And we were training pharmacy owners every quarter. I think it was a 12-month or an 8-month program, and we'll train them and all of that. That was how we were able to. We started building our own community. We started, penetrating the mindset, and people started seeing things. So we even would offer to work with people free of charge to consult for them, and people started seeing results. And the results they started seeing, started to speak now. And that helped us to start working with them to say, oh, we have a tech that we are building specifically for you. Because that's another problem, was trust. Another big aspect of operating businesses in Africa is trust. And trust is the spirit of partnership. You cannot work with someone. You can't, in fact, if there's a no like trust factor in here, right? If your customers do not, they cannot part away with their money or their time to use your solution. So we had to build trust. So that platform also was a platform that helped us to build trust across this pharmacies. And that was how, lo and behold, we started aggregating. And number three is the ability to create value. And that was us saying, we have all these people on this platform. What value can we bring to them? So, there was a My Medicines that also aggregated pharmacies to help, supply the last mile clients. So we started prioritizing the pharmacies in our community to help boost their sales through My Medicines. And that also started building trust. And we also started looking for what are the other opportunities or gaps that these people are facing that we needed to, go out, look for partnerships that would help them. So that value creation also, established our value within that sector. So those were the challenges because there are times that you would see that the reason why this pharmacy owner is not able to thrive is because there's this gap. Yes, they have the knowledge, they want to implement it. They have, like us now, they trust us, but they also have challenges that is not making them operational, financial, or whatever challenges that is not making them move to the next level. So what we did was to start, aggregating those challenges and started sectioning them to look for partners that will work with us to implement, to solve those problems. So those were the challenges that we faced. On the top ones, you said the top ones, we had several, right? But because of time, I put them together. And these were the challenges we faced. and how we're able to solve them.
Beautiful. And you know what I like what you just pointed out? People usually just go to finance is our problem without realizing that you have to first of all deal with culture, deal with the lack of trust before you even start talking about throwing money at your problems. So that's
Exactly.
very insightful to hear that from
Yeah.
you. And some other thing I saw from your bio was that you have a community called Mom Care with Yewande, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you wear a lot of hats. So as a lifestyle coach and community builder with over 4,000 mothers in your online network, how do you balance this professional leadership with professional personal community impact? So you have you're building a professional leadership thing, you're consultant, you're powerhouse, and then you also have this personal community impact you're trying to establish. So how do you marry both?
Well, when I took over Medbury because it was a new terrain, I had to pause that. So I'm currently on a 1 year break. I hope to resume in January. And that's one of the strategy. You must know when to prioritize. Prioritization is very important. So, but the first one is you must define who you are, and you are not one person. So my name is Yewande Adebayo. I'm a woman. I define myself by my core values. But what hats do I wear? I am Yewande, a woman, and everything about my person, my spirit, soul, body, I attend to them. I have a schedule around it. I am Yewande, a mother. I wear that hat. I have a son who I tend to, who I'm nurturing and growing. So these are the things that I need to do to ensure that I am, a good mother to my son, and my son, is getting the value of being my son, right? I am Yewande, the head of business at Medbury Pharmaceuticals. These are the things I need to do. These are the hours I need to invest. These are the things, that I need to outsource. These are the things I need to put in place. These are the things I need to do to grow, continuously grow at these spheres of my life, right? And I'm here one day a lifestyle coach. What do I want to achieve as a lifestyle coach? What do I want to achieve with my online? What do I want to do with this brand? I want to be able to help mothers to live their best life and not think because they are mothers, their life has ended. Support them, build a community of support, probably launch a tech in the nearest future whereby they can they can be networking from moms to mentors, moms to job opportunity, moms to therapies, moms to coach, that kind of thing. So what are the things that are required of me to grow in this light, and also in terms of building my knowledge and my capacity, and to constantly show up authentically and serve this community? How do I serve them? What are the things I need to do? That's why I always tell people that my greatest goal in life is to follow my to-do list, because my to-do list touches all these aspects of my life. So I'm here one day a daughter, a sister, a friend, a lover. All of these things, I put them together in boxes and the things that are required of me. So this is how I'm able to define my roles at different aspects of my life and the things that I need to do. And I now prioritize what are the things that I don't need to do, but they are important. I can outsource and monitor. So I give out the authority without the responsibility, right? So you do this, but I am still responsible for it. I monitor that this thing is done well, like my own management. I don't manage my own, but I put a framework for my own management that my own maker, my own manager follows our meal plans, our cleaning schedule, taking care of my son and all of those things. And I use my remaining energy and time to focus on bonding with my son, training my son, focusing on the things that I cannot outsource to my own manager, right? So the process, me building a process and monitoring it, is me still taking responsibility. The same goes for my work as a leader, as a corporate leader and healthcare leader. So, that's the point of staffing, delegation, job description, operational framework, evaluation, performance evaluation, all of this framework, and you are monitoring that people are doing what they're supposed to do. You are ensuring that, because you can't do everything. Currently, I know that I feel about 3, 4 roles, even right now in my organization, because I am still trying to balance a lot of things. But then I have, over 100 people that work in my business unit. in the subsidiary. So I'm ensuring that at every point in time, I am looking at the overarching strategy and marrying it to the execution and operational framework and ensuring that things are aligning. So there's a monitoring process, there's an evaluation process, there is the strategy process, and ensuring that your operations, your strategy is not far away from your reality. So I have a process and I have a framework for work. And I'm able to say, what are the number of hours I need to invest, out of my 24 hours to attend to this area of my life? I need to sleep. How many hours can I afford to sleep? And I take very good care of myself. It's this one body and mind that I have. And I'm also to say, if I'm able to invest 6, 7 hours of my time in a week for my personal brand, right, I would be able to move forward. So that's how I reflection the things I'm supposed to do, block time for it. And I also try to have time for the things that I love and the people that I love also. So my time is fixed. My time is, and that's why I'm very, very wicked with managing my schedule. But at the end of the day, this is how I am able to balance. Well, balance is a myth. This is how I'm able to integrate different aspects of my life together. And sometimes I just say, this is important, put it on hold and focus on the things that are important and urgent, and I take it from there. And there are some things, they are both important and urgent together. And I look at one, this is a glass ball. If this should drop, it's going to break. This is a plastic ball. If it drops, I'll pick it up again. When next, I'm able to pick it up. So these are the ways I prioritize. So that's the essence of, after you've identified and the different aspects of your lives and the things that are required and the timing that you are putting into it, you must also learn prioritization. And you learn prioritization through the urgent and important, but there are times that you have 10 things that are important and urgent at the same time. So you need to also now prioritize. What are the things that if it drops, nothing is going to, the impact is not a lot. But if this drops, the impact the magnitude of the impact will be a lot, will be high. So you focus at that time. And as much as possible, prioritize your time so that you don't have a lot of things that are urgent and important together. You must grow your ability to say no more often than yes. Because your yes is your word, it's your time, it's your energy. So you don't say yes to everything. You say, before you say yes to something, think about it, see how the value that it has. There are times I actually expend time and energy on things and I regret it greatly because I'm like, I've lost this number of hours, this number of months, this number of time on this thing. But I move on from it and I learn from it. So before you say yes to someone, say yes to people, just know that those things align with your personal goals and core values. And that is the way that you are able to show up authentically and integrate different aspects of your life that require your attention together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for saying yes to this 45 minutes with us because I know you're stingy with your time. So, as we're
Thank
beginning to
you.
wrap up with this beautiful time we've spent with you, we have a lot of young people in our network, and I know, and you also agree that mentorship and networking is very important at this
Oh, yes,
stage.
extremely.
So how best do you, I think, we can go about this business of mentorship, networking for young professionals who want to enter the digital health space?
Oh, okay. So I must commend what you're doing. I think this is one of the great ways, education and showcasing, because many times people do not even know who they want to be or where they want to play, right? So the role of mentorship should first be in identifying people. And I think that the world is too wrapped up in what we do rather than who we are. And a lot of young people are lost in, I work here, this is what I do, this is, and they think they mix it up with who they are. That's why you saw that I said I am Yewande Adekoya, and this is who I am. And who I am is not head of business, it's not motherhood, it's not any of those things on my bio. Who I am is I am a dedicated, I am a gifted, I am an energetic, I am a loyal person, an excellent oriented person. So, what are your core values? So, I believe that mentorship should first target, you know, helping people to discover and align with their core values. And we should build programs and platforms that would help people first discover, like, stay grounded in who they are, right? That's really shaping what they do. That's why it is not about the platform that I am on, right? It is about what I do, how my person influences that platform or that opportunity. That's why you see a lot of young people abuse opportunities, right? That mentorship has brought their way. So I think mentorship should actually unravel that. And that's one of the things that you're doing. And I must commend, your platform for what you're doing. Number two would be that we, apart from education, the second one would be that mentorship is not only for when people are out of the institutions, that their academic institutions, universities, and all. I think the schools should start incorporating mentorship into the curriculum of their staff, of their pupils, their students. It's something that would transform the sector, the workforce sector, when people start discovering themselves and start aligning with core values right from when they are in school, before the hustle and bustle of the world, they have some good level of clarity on who they are or who they even want to become, right? And before they jump into the world, right? Number three would be that mentorship is not a gateway to getting opportunities. Mentorship should also be an avenue for service. I see a lot of people, I want you to be my mentor. I am extremely busy, right? So what I would tell young people is that first is all that you have AI and all of that, even if you don't know what you want to do, right? You can look for people in your profession and see what they are doing with their profession. And as you shadow them, you are able to see the one that align with you, right? And number two is you should serve. It's not people just want mentorship and networking because they want to take advantage. It's about honestly, genuinely interested in the people that you are actually looking forward to for mentorship. And even for mentors, I don't there are some people that reach out to me for mentorship that I don't respond to, or I just say, oh, I'll get back to you, or I even refer them to Taiwo Olaweyimi, who has a mentorship or an accountability platform for young pharmacists. Is basically that we must sort of align, because once we align, I am sure you're going to get a lot of value, right? And I also look out for mentees that I can sponsor. And when I mean sponsor, people that I get a lot of opportunities that I'm looking for people that I can pass it on to. But unfortunately, even the people that I mentor, many of the times they are not prepared. So that's why I'm very choosy about the people in my space. So mentorship is not just a gateway or a key to opportunities. It's a place and opportunity for value addition on both sides of a mentor and a mentee. So mentors should create that opportunity for value addition to their mentees and not use them as I see people say, oh, they are doing this for their mentors, they are doing this for their everything. And I'm like, what time do you have for yourself? Why is your mentor taking advantage of you like this? Right? And also, mentees is not your mentors are busy. You must also look out for opportunities to give back to them. And number three is, most importantly, which I see is that you don't have to have a direct contact with people before they can mentor you. People can mentor you from afar. I have been blessed by you, isn't it? By watching you, by following you, I have been immensely inspired, right? So most of the time, people think mentorship and networking is just about the physical contact and all. So for me, I feel that these are things that we need to take cognizance of as we, broaden the scope of mentorship in mentoring young people in the digital health space, even in Africa as it is. Because yes, Mentorship is the gap between where people are, right, to where people are supposed to be. But if it is not done properly, it's going to be abused. And that abuse needs to stop, both on the side of the mentor and also on the side of the mentee. So for me, I believe that if these things are in place, people would really get the value that is in mentorship and networking. And there's a book I want to close with. There's a book that I am reading on networking. And that book says something very, it said networking is not just about what you want to get from the other person. It's about genuine interest in who people are and what they have to give. It's just being interested in being in people's spaces, learning about them, learning about what they are doing, and thinking of how can I be of value to this person. Simple. That's networking. Because when you think value, like I said, a lot rest on value creation. You would be so valuable, and you would realize most of my mentors, they always come back and say, you came in for me for mentorship, but I've become also your mentee in some aspect of life. So I have I call her my mama, Dr. Doherty. Dr. Doherty is such an amazing person. And every time she'll say, my mentee that has become my mentor, right? And every time I am always looking out for how can I be or a blessing to this woman. And we don't see often, but she's so important to me. So most of the time, networking and mentorship is a transference or exchange of value. And if everybody bear this in mind, whether you are creating platform for mentorship or you are aspiring to be a mentee, just have it at the back of your mind that this platform is a platform for value. And me leveraging on this platform is because I also want to give value as much as I want to get value. So I think that is, the crux of what I believe in mentorship. What mentorship should be about in this space. Thank
Thank you so much. It's a value exchange. Definitely. It is a value exchange. Nobody should abuse that opportunity to learn from each other. Definitely.
you. Yeah.
Amazing what you've just shared. And that's a segue to one of the last questions we have for you. So, for health professionals looking to transition, I don't like to use the word pivot because for me, it's a transition into digital health. What practical steps should they take to position themselves for opportunities?
Hmm. Well, aside from shadowing people that have gone ahead of you, which is number one. Number one is identifying where you want to play, and the best way, because there are too many. The Africa health tech space is like a big pie. Not one person cannot, you know, take over the pie. So everybody is trying to come and take up their space on the pie to say this is my space and grow on it. And sometimes not just one person will take up a space. You can have 10, 20 people take up that particular space, and more people continue to spread as they see the opportunities. And opportunities, like I say, is not just opportunities. Oh, there's money here. Opportunities usually present themselves as challenges that some people are courageous enough to take on and solve. um so that's number one. So you look at the opportunities, shadow the people that are taking up spaces and at those spaces in the digital health space. And like I said, it's very important for you to know who you are and the one that really appeal to you. What do you want to what part do you want to play in this challenge, this the journey of solving challenges in the healthcare space? Because digital health tech is nothing without proper, without it wanting to solve a solution. So there is a solution that there is a problem that needs a solution, that you create the solution and use tech as a tool to solve it, right? So you must also look at what problem do I want to solve, and who are the people in that space using tech, systems and technology to solve this solution, and emphasis on systems, right? And once you are able to identify that, number two and one very important thing is volunteering. people, I see people reach out to me, oh, I'm trying to get a job and all of those things. And I'm like, what are you doing now? Nothing. I'm just, I'm taking courses. Okay. That same time you're going to waste that time. It's going to pass. Why not volunteer and get the experience and put it on your CV that you've worked in these places? You want to get a job at a company and earn a certain amount of money without good deal of experience. I've had people that came on to volunteer at different aspects of the companies that I've worked, and they ended up not just getting a job at those places, but also growing within that company. And there are people that they didn't get a permanent job, but they didn't get, not because they didn't want, but because they were able to, their eyes open, they got loads of clarity, and they were able to transition from that space to another space. So most of the time, people just want to, oh, I want to people. You need to volunteer. You need to test the market. You need to test the spaces, right? Volunteer. Mentorship is also a very important aspect of it, which we've spoken about. Find mentors in those spaces and volunteer. Volunteer Volunteering would help you to grow your skills, will help you to get experience, will bring you closer to the stakeholders and the key players that you need to be closer to, right? Whether you are even within a company that you are looking to pivot or try, oh, sorry, you don't want like that one, to transition to another part of it. For instance, you are in the healthcare space of your company and you like HR. Start volunteering, start taking courses, start shadowing, and you can volunteer there and be an HR person for healthcare, so that when there is a need for HR whatever in healthcare, you niche down and they start looking at you. You have carved a niche from being an HR generalist that can work anywhere to healthcare spaces, because you understand the terrain as a healthcare person. So you need to I don't see any way people can really transition without the act of volunteering. That's why when people go for we do internships. That's why when people go for certification or some setting in MBAs and all of that, they tell them that you need 1 month, whatever, to volunteer for you to grow your skills and all of that. So those are the three things that, grow your skills, shadow people, mentorship, and volunteering. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just for people who are joining and who are asking questions, this series, the Career Showcase, is just for us, like she mentioned, to just let you know that there are people who are on this journey who have made it transition from traditional roles into digital health roles. And this is just a way of telling you this is how they did it. This is a shortcut. This is an expo into how they did it, so that if you're asking questions of how did you do it, you just magically went from being a pharmacist to now running all these big health tech companies. This is how she did it. So that it's just, tearing that curtain and showing the inner workings of how that happened. So that's why we're having this session. So I can see some questions in the chat. And just to wrap up, thank you so much, Yewande. It's been an amazing conversation. You've been very, very, very vulnerable with us and sharing your insights. But I just
Thank
want to know, what is Yewande's big vision for the health tech space in Africa for the next, say, 5 to 10 years? What would you
you. Oh,
want to be that thing happening in the digital health space?
alrighty. I think I have about a couple of goals that I would love to see, pan out. Number one would be that I would love that, I go to the interior part of Africa and I am seeing that people have access to quality healthcare leveraging technology. So I'm able to see someone who has access to speak to a doctor because of a WhatsApp chat, powered by AI, and they are not able to, they are able to curb the complications that come from things like hypertension, diabetes, even cancer, because they're able to speak to an health professional, even if the health professional is not present there with them physically, right? And they're able to get direction, clarity, and good, medical advice and care because of that. I would like to see that. in Africa, in Nigeria especially. I would really love that. People do not die unnecessarily because they are they do not have access to healthcare. And you know, we are able to leverage on existing infrastructures like WhatsApp, you know, WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp call to achieve these things. Number two is data. Um, Data is king, like they say, data is life. I would really love platforms where the data of people are aggregated together, both for end users, both for healthcare providers, and we are able to make insightful data driven decisions that would drive the healthcare spaces. You know, I'm looking forward to the amalgamation of patient data on a platform that if you leave, there's a system whereby people can trust the integrity of the data system. If you live here to Burkina Faso, and people can actually leverage on your medical history on that data. I would really love to see that. Those are the big visions that I have. And we are able to also, you know, leverage on the data, all the system back end to make informed decisions, health policies, improve the healthcare system, because these policies are data driven and not just political you know, ambition and all of that. So these are, you know, the two major vision or goals. Like I'll say the I've forgotten what they call that stuff. You know, your it's more like a pipe dream that you have for something. And I really hope that the people within this health tech space, all of us, find a way to collaborate together to achieve these big area audacious goals.
Really be the big, hairy, audacious goals. Definitely. Thank you so much for these amazing almost 50 minutes with us. It's been beautiful. Definitely I have a lot to do, like three LinkedIn posts from this. So thank you so much for that. And
Thank you.
for giving us your time, for sharing your knowledge with us. And good luck with your endeavors. We hope to read and learn more things from you. So she's on LinkedIn. You can follow up the things she's doing on LinkedIn. Um, and all those beautiful things. So thank you very much, Yolanda Adekoya, for
Thank you very
another
much,
for
Isabel.
your time. So
I'm grateful.
viewers, thank you so much for another beautiful time with you. Those of you who have joined us from beginning to the end, those who sent questions in the chat, thank you so much. And join us next time in November, 2 months' time, third week as usual, for another edition. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.